to you from the Kalangut beach in Goa and welcome to Dhaba Buzz. Goa, of course, goes to polls on the 4th of February and we have to find out, and we are here with people to find out what are going to be the major electoral issues this year. Now, there's no dhaba that we could have found here, but on the beach we are here on the shack and we are going to be speaking to people about what they really think about the political developments that's going on in the smallest state. Now, it might be a small state, but it is a big electoral battle. Now, first we'll find out from our guests here what they think are the main electoral issues or the main things that people are really going to come out and vote for this year. Ma'am, if I could ask you, what do you think is going to be, say, the number one electoral issue this time around?
Garbage management, public transport, primary health. It's not one, it's four.
Okay.
And drinking water.
Drinking water. Okay, what about you, sir?
I think the issues that are being talked about are also the casinos, the mining, and also to some extent there would be a throwback on the political happenings at a national level, demonetization. People would bring it up. Even the people who are contesting would bring these things up.
People will be inclined towards development, and that should be visible also.
Okay.
Yes, that is my view.
Okay. You, sir?
Well, I feel the people of Goa have been a victim to a lot of development, and they have felt that they themselves as a human being haven't been developed. And this year, I feel a lot of them are looking at, besides these schemes and stuff like that, they want themselves to be developed as human beings in this place.
All right, ma'am, you were talking earlier, you think probably, infrastructure more for the youth would be one of the key issues that people will be looking at this year?
Yeah, so Goa is ideally located to be very attractive as a education destination. But somehow whatever higher education institutions have come and have a name in Goa are not, being used to avail the education by the locals. So I think somewhere there's a need to integrate the locals into these reputed higher education institutions, and as more will be attracted to Goa as well.
All right. Finally, coming to you, sir, what do you think Goa really is going to vote on this year?
It is actually purely development and employment of the youth.
Development and employment of the youth. So we'll come to that in our second segment. First, we'd like to talk about the casino issue, as you pointed out, sir, primarily because for a very long time, in terms of the political stances taken on the casino issue, there's been a lot of flip-flop. If someone could tell me what really would you say, why should casinos be shut down, and what would be the counter argument to that?
When you talk about casinos, one should talk about matka also. And in principle, if gambling is bad, then the crackdown should be on both the things. What she made a point about the polluting by the river casinos, that is one part of it. But the social pollution, as is being claimed, is being done by both the matka as well as the casinos, and it's an easy target, the casino, because it's big people, big money, and the richer people go over there. But I think both should be targeted.
That's actually a very fair point, because there are lots of kinds of gambling, not just here in Goa, but everywhere else. But one more point that has been raised very often is that casinos generate a lot of revenue for the government. So the BJP government actually in the past, they have said that the reason they probably went back on shutting down casinos is because once mining stopped, casinos were also a very major source of revenue. Like, they even now contribute about 200 crores per annum. So just to play the devil's advocate, if you shut down such a major source of revenue, really, like, where is your money going to come from? And is it prudent to do something like that, ma'am, if you would like to say?
I have a couple of points. So I would say that it's very difficult for any government which comes to power to be really able to shut down the casinos. And therefore, practically speaking, we should look at a sustainable model where if they are creating pollution and harming the environment, they should be offsetting it with some other measures. So a better management of the entire system is one thing which could be looked at. Another thing, like in the Nepal model where the locals are totally banned from using the casinos at all, that kind of a model can be looked at in Goa, because After all, even tobacco is statutory warnings are there, but the companies are allowed to survive, and we all know that the reason is revenue for the government. So if we treat it like this, we are just expecting the Goa government to again squeeze out a revenue source. Personally, I think that, with mining as one, now the casinos is another, if you start restricting all the revenue sources, the growth of the state is going to find itself very challenging, and budget management by the government would also be very difficult.
One more point that again has been raised politically is the fact that this gives employment to a lot of people. And in fact, I was interviewing one of the casino owners a few days ago regarding a story, and he said that this is really one of the very few places in Goa where you would have for say a 10th pass or a 12th pass or someone who's not graduated, they'd be able to make a lot of headway in terms of their career. They would receive employment. So you think that's also one of the things that should be factored in, or you think that's one of the things really political parties should be looking at when they're talking about the casino ban? No, okay, coming to you, sir. Yeah.
I have never been to any casino in Goa. However, whenever I pass the casinos, the only people I find employed are people from outside Goa. So it's a myth that it will or it does generate employment.
Okay.
And local employment.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. As a country, we are generating employment, but it's not employment generated for the Goans.
What about you, sir?
I think, we should ban it, because if it is not good, if suppose the youth are just getting spoiled, so I think it's not the second gen, it should ban it.
Yeah.
Okay. Even the incomes of, there might be government can find a different ways of earning the income. Only not, because which is destroying the culture. It shouldn't be banned. A lot of youth goes there. Okay, they spend their money there. So I think, and on the casinos, as per my know, there are a lot of other things happens on the casinos. Okay, so I doesn't want to discuss on that. So I think it's a big thing. So as a youth, I wouldn't agree for that, because we want the youth should be strong. If the youth is strong, then the India Bharat will be strong.
So you would advocate a complete ban?
Complete ban.
Okay. What about you, sir?
My views are totally different, because I'm into ground reality. As my colleague just now mentioned that it's not generating any revenue on local aspect, but it is generating revenue on the national. But my views are different. The moment casinos are shut down, there will be a chaos in the society. The people who are they are attached to casino in different ways, like this taxi people who are playing this taxi. Then there are transport providers. Then there are so many other things are also included with this casino business. You cannot go for a decision that you should totally ban the casinos, but no, give them an opportunity to explore the possibilities of getting other employments.
Okay.
And then you phase out slowly. And as my friend, he just mentioned that he wants a strong Bharat and strong youth. For me, if he comes with me and visits any casino, because I happen to visit certain casinos on other aspect, not as a customer to them, but as an inspecting agency. So I found out that not more than 1 to 2% of Goan population was there. Never in my life I came across inside the casino, because these tourists are coming. The tourists are the main customers for casinos, and tourists are bringing along with them the kind of revenue this small state of my Goa requires. And now they have already devastated the mining sector. Now if they are after the casinos, then the financial position will be very, very precarious in this state of Goa.
Okay, I get your point. Sir, so which side of the debate would you say you'd be on?
I would say the casinos that we have in Goa, definitely when I pass the casinos, it's a beautiful view to look at. Like, you have these well lit up boats in the river. It's amazing. And it takes me back to Egypt, where on the river Nile, you have these night trips where you have the Nile dinner and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, these licenses that have been issued to these so-called casinos are actually licenses given for flotels. That means hotels that are floating. So if that concept remains, if those same boats remain, removing the casino aspect, which is actually gambling, I think we'll save a lot of it. And we locals who are not going for casino would definitely love to have a party or a function on a flotel. So I think those boats can remain, taking into consideration the hygiene aspect, taking into consideration messing up of the rivers, etc.
Like
It will,
she pointed out, there's also a pollution
yes,
aspect.
and it won't only give revenue for people who are looking at only casinos, but a lot of other local people will be giving the same kind of revenue.
I would in fact like to return to the topic that why do you think it's such a big political issue and should it be? It's like a tendency with the people whenever there's election to make something as a key political issue, regardless of how important it is. And what happens is the issues which are really affecting a large number of the population are completely ignored and sidelined in the process, and it just seems to be a hot burning issue for really nothing compared to issues like drugs, prostitution, alcohol, which we did a survey which is really affecting the coastal belt people like quite a bit. And I find now being here almost 10 years in Goa that the health of the Goans, an average Goan, is really poor. And one of the reasons I find is their habits of consuming alcohol or the kind of food which goes with it, the lifestyle that they have. And who is going to address that issue? And why don't they ask for things to really address those kind of issues which are being completely neglected, which affect them more seriously than getting all hyped up about? The over focus on the culture and the environment and not is good. They maintain their culture quite a bit because of that. But time to look at the individual
I
is
think there are more burning issues that
which really affect them more deeply, which they're not really looking at. And I think the government also should try to awaken that in the people rather than being obsessed about saving this or that all the time.
Yes. So you think the casino issue is just being blown out of proportion?
Yes, that's
really?
what I feel.
Okay. Sir, finally coming to you before we wrap up the segment. With what stance would you like to take? We have had various stances, one saying that it should be phased out, and a ma'am saying that there are better things to talk about.
When you are tourism state, you are declared. So this casino and all these things comes hand in hand, and it has to be there because people come here for fun. But only the thing is why it is not happening outside the country, outside the country who are accepting for the casinos. You have to see that you have to accept their this model, how they are regulated the casinos and how they have deprived their youth going there inside the casinos and this way. Employment, yes, we are given all over India the employment is given by casino, but even some percentage of local people are also working there and they are getting benefit of that thing. It will be definitely a problem for the local employees, whatever percentage is there, maybe small or big percentage they are working there. But because of Goa is small state and there is very less opportunities for the employment, if this employment also will take out, then it will be big problem for them.
Okay. So you're saying...
I'm not advocating actually, but it should be regulated nicely so that all the even social society also will get benefit about it, and even people also do fun on it.
Okay.
Understand? No?
So there should be a middle ground that should come.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So with that, we come to the end of this segment. More issues that we'll discuss on the other side, like the medium of instruction issues, like, of course, the issue of unemployment amongst the youth in Goa. That has also been raised politically. And we'll also ask our guests over here what they really think about the political numbers and how they are going to play out, But more on that after the break.